In a small village, between the ancient pines and under the watchful eye of the mountains, lived a young girl named Shizuoka. Even though her name meant quiet, the landscape of her mind was a perpetual storm. Each day, as she walked through the village, her steps were measured and precise, her eyes scanning the paths and faces with an intensity that belied her calm exterior. Shizuoka's days were filled with endless lists and schedules. She meticulously planned every hour, from the moment the sun painted the sky with the blush of dawn until it dipped below the horizon. Every interaction and every task was rehearsed in her mind over and over, like a play where she could dictate every line and every cue. This need for meticulous planning was her way of forging a path through the chaos of her thoughts, a way to stay in control of her circumstances, a path she desperately hoped would lead to peace. One autumn day, the village prepared for the annual harvest festival, a time of joy and community. As Shizuoka arranged the lanterns and decorations, her mind raced with what-ifs and should-haves, tangling her thoughts until she felt breathless. While she was lost deep in a web of thoughts, she accidentally knocked over a lantern, setting a nearby cloth on fire. The fire was quickly extinguished, but the damage was done. The cloth, a cherished artifact passed down through generations, was ruined. Her accident cast a shadow over the festival, and Shizuoka felt the weight of her village's disappointment. Noticing her distress, her grandmother, a woman of gentle wisdom and patience, took her by the hand and led her away from the village. They walked in silence to a serene stream hidden deep within the mountains, a place Shizuoka had never visited. The air here was cooler, and the only sounds were the whispering of the wind through the leaves and the soft murmur of flowing water. Sitting on the moss-covered bank, Shizuoka's grandmother broke the silence. "Look at the stream, Shizuoka. What do you notice about it?" Shizuoka watched the water for a moment before answering. "It flows freely, grandmother. It seems so sure of where it's going." "Do you think the water knows its path, or does it simply trust the journey?" her grandmother asked, her eyes twinkling with unspoken knowledge. "It must trust," Shizuoka replied, her voice tinged with doubt. Her grandmother smiled gently. "Water does not overthink its course. It moves where nature guides it. Can you see how it does not cling to the rocks or the fallen leaves? It embraces them briefly and lets them go, continuing on its path." "By being like the water," her grandmother said as she picked up a leaf and placed it on the stream's surface. "Watch this leaf. It does not fight the current. It flows with it, turns and twists with it, but is never part of it. Your thoughts are the leaf and your mind is the stream. Observe them, acknowledge them, but do not hold on to them. Let them pass without attachment." Several weeks later, as the village celebrated the new year, a problem arose. The central bonfire, crucial for the night's festivities, struggled to light, dampened by an unexpected drizzle. The villagers' spirits faltered, mirroring the dying flames. Shizuoka felt the old surge of anxiety begin to rise. Normally, she would have drowned in worry, overthinking every possible outcome. But remembering her grandmother's words, she paused, took a deep breath, and observed her rising panic as if it were a leaf on the stream, there but fleeting. With a calm mind, she had a spark of inspiration. "Let's use the lanterns to create a river of light leading to the pavilion," she suggested. "We can celebrate under the shelter, surrounded by a flow of lights that mimic the stream's journey." Her idea was met with a burst of enthusiasm. Villagers quickly arranged hundreds of lanterns, crafting a luminous path that transformed the pavilion into a glowing haven. The festival was not only saved but became a memorable spectacle of creativity and unity. As time passed, Shizuoka became known not just for her quiet name, but for her quiet strength. She faced life's challenges like the stream faced its rocks and bends, with grace and a peace that truly reflected her name. And so, the tale of Shizuoka and the stream of Shizuoka spread far and wide, a story of a girl who learned to watch her thoughts like leaves on a river, embracing the flow of life with acceptance and tranquility, inspiring all who heard her story to find peace in the presence of their own streaming thoughts. In the tale of Shizuoka, we learn the delicate art of observing our thoughts without attachment. recognizing that they are like leaves on a stream, present only momentarily before drifting away. This practice isn't about suppressing our thoughts, but allowing them the space to come and go freely, providing us with the secret to emptiness and inner tranquility. As we cultivate this skill, we are finally able to tap into a profound peace and creativity that we have always had within us, but was previously much more difficult to access because of all the turbulence in our minds. This tale speaks directly to us, addressing the modern epidemic of overthinking, a maze of stress and anxiety trapping too many of us away from truly living. It teaches us that managing our thoughts is not about achieving a permanent state of emptiness, but about cultivating an ongoing awareness, a gentle acknowledgement that allows thoughts to come and go without ensnaring us. Similarly, Shizuoka learns to see her thoughts not as barriers, but as leaves on a stream, mere objects passing through her consciousness, not directives to which she must cling. One of the most important things you can do is to immerse yourself in activities that naturally induce flow, the state where we lose ourselves in the joy of what we're doing. This state can be achieved through doing something you are truly passionate about, a hobby, something you really like to do for fun. It can be art, gardening, or sports, for instance. Something you are truly passionate about will automatically bring you into a state of presence and flow, and it will also enrich your sense of well-being and presence. If you truly embrace this approach of mindfulness, it will lead to a remarkable transformation where your mind becomes clear, allowing the universe to flow through you. When this happens, you will enhance your connection with the moment and everything you engage with. Remember, Shizuoka's transformation was not immediate. It was a journey, marked by daily practices and small victories. Mindfulness is not a destination to reach, but a path to walk. It teaches us to live harmoniously with our internal storms, to acknowledge them and let them pass, leaving us unmarked. This continuous practice really reveals the true peace and clarity that have always been within us, waiting to be discovered. Let this story be more than a tale. Let it be a guide, a companion on your journey to mastering your thoughts. Let the stream of Shizuoka remind you that even the most turbulent thoughts can be observed, acknowledged, and released, just like leaves on a stream dancing on the water before drifting out of sight, leaving the surface clear and serene. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel inspired by the lessons from this tale, please consider sharing it with a friend who might also appreciate these insights. And before you go, I'd like to leave you with the following question. In what ways are you holding on to your thoughts, and how might your life change if you learn to observe them pass by like leaves on a stream? I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below.